afternoon, guys. I'm Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille Show. Thank you kindly for joining us. It's a gorgeous Thursday in downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, in the Macklin Building, the home to the I Love CVille Network studio. A lot we're going to cover on today's program. I will offer commentary that is quite critical of Congressman Bob Good of the 5th District. After not one but two political gaffes, not one but two open your mouth and insert your foot moments, not one but two awkward and cringe-worthy comments that have left me befuddled, frustrated, in disbelief, disgusted, disturbed, uncertain, fearful, all of the above. Bob Good calls the COVID virus the China virus. Bob Good insists that cameras should be put in public school classrooms so students and teachers and TAs and assistants and administrators can be tracked. So students, his words, Bob Good's words, are not indoctrinated and brainwashed by leftist radical beliefs. That topic on today's show, a topic that's on the front page of most Commonwealth newspapers. We'll also talk on today's program a topic Travis Hackworth passed on to me. We've dubbed him the King of Danville, Travis Hackworth. And he has enlightened me and Judah and I, that a Wisconsin-based developer has partnered with Danville, Virginia, in the development of a building that needs TLC and then some. We will talk this topic on today's program. We will also chatter Scott Aaronworth's topic. He's the king of Virginia Beach. Scott Aaronworth, an Esquire from Virginia Beach, often takes trips to Charlottesville, which he calls, quote, foodcations. He spends hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on these excursions, and he supports local businesses like Pure Velo, the exercise studio, but focuses his money and attention primarily on the culinary scene in Charlottesville. He brings to my attention Scott Aaronworth, the addition Dylan Allwood of Harrison Keeville's Multiverse Kitchen. Dylan Allwood is a badass. Dylan Allwood cut his chops and really built a name and a reputation for himself as the executive chef, the head chef at Tavola in Belmont, the Italian restaurant that is a local's favorite. One of the best of the best is this tiny seat Italian restaurant tucked away in downtown Belmont, nondescript from the outside, but once you get within the friendly confines of this Italian eatery, you realize the custom nature of the cuisine. You realize the pasta is made daily, the sauce is made daily, the specials on the menu change daily. Dylan Allwood cuts his teeth at this restaurant. He takes a brief hiatus outside of the Central Virginia and Charlottesville food scene, and now he is back at Multiverse Kitchens with Harrison Keeville. Harrison Keeville is running a handful of brands out of one restaurant, Ghost Kitchen Brands. The umbrella name is Multiverse Kitchens. Dylan Allwood is bringing the Tavola flavor to the menu at Multiverse with what looks like a spaghetti carbonara dish with Edwards Virginia smoked house bacon, Judah. I mean, if you got the picture, put it on screen. It's making me freaking hungry, Judah. I mean, I could gobble this up all single day. It's a special starting tonight. What really intrigued me about this, they create demand by putting in the copy of the Facebook post and the Instagram post that only 8 portions will be for sale. I freaking love it. Dylan, welcome back to Charlottesville. Harrison, a tremendous addition to your team. Interestingly, Dylan Allwood and Harrison worked together at Brookville Restaurant, the restaurant Harrison owned and operated on the Charlottesville Downtown Mall, the old Bebedero, the upstairs location. More topics we're going to cover on today's program, folks. We'll let you know about a business we're officially representing in the sale of their locally owned company. It's going to be the one bridal salon at $125,000 in asking price. She has $70,000 in inventory. Judah was there late last week taking photos and video. The listing for this business you can find on ilovecville.com. In fact, I'll give you the specific URL, ilovecville.com/the one bridal salon for sale. $70,000 in inventory, $125,000 asking price. A business that's been in operation for years at a location in Midtown that is easy to get to with parking directly next to it. A rent payment of just $3,000 in a space of business that has just one competitor locally. And I want to correct myself, $75,000 in inventory and an asking price of $125,000. We will welcome the owner of this business onto the I Love CVille Show perhaps as early as next week. This is an opportunity, a primo opportunity. All right, I want to get to Bob Good first. We'll start with a two-shot, if we could. We thank Skooma Boutique Dispensary for being a part of the show. Skooma Boutique Dispensary, the best dispensary in Charlottesville, is on the Downtown Mall and on Allwood Avenue. It's Skooma Boutique Dispensary. We also encourage our friends, our viewers, and our listeners, Judah, to try the fantastic restaurant at the Clifton. The Clifton, 10 minutes from Charlottesville, has got an intimate bar, a chef of James Beard-like talents, and a menu that is custom, delicious, and approachable. The Clifton, 10 minutes from Charlottesville in the Keswick area. Good, first. I'll set the stage. You offer some thoughts, some comments, some commentary. I have some as well. Bob Good on Monday is at a Campbell County School Board meeting. They're talking school future, transparency in schools. Bob Good literally says that cameras should be installed in the classroom. I'll read the direct quote for the viewers and listeners. Quote, "I've been an advocate for the past few years since the China virus first hit our shores 2.5 years ago for cameras in the classroom," end quote. I want to highlight and emphasize this on the show. We offer fair and balanced commentary. We go after Dems when they make mistakes, and Republicans when they make mistakes, independents when they make mistakes, libertarians when they make mistakes, and socialists when they make mistakes. We hold people accountable. We do not care what party you're affiliated with. Referring to COVID as the China virus is distasteful. Insisting that cameras be in the classroom so children and teachers and administrators and leadership can be monitored through a camera lens, so leftist, radical, educational indoctrination does not happen, is nauseating and obscene. Distancing politics from schools is paramount and a must. And the most shocking thing of this, even if he feels this way, to make these comments, let's see, August, September, October, 3 months and change before he's running for re-election, shows to me a lack of common sense.
I mean, basically, that's how I think of our entire political class. Lacking in common sense, tone deaf, and I think self-interested is probably the way I would describe them most accurately.
I have a hard time even understanding or comprehending the comment of the China virus, and a hard time understanding or comprehending the classrooms and schools to basically spy on teachers and administrators and students to prevent what he calls leftist indoctrination in our educational school system, public school system.
I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from in that regard.
I don't understand at all. I cannot comprehend in the least, as a parent, that comment. I cannot comprehend in the least.
So you don't know about critical race theory?
I'm very well aware of critical race theory, but the idea of having a camera in a classroom to spy on my kid or my teacher is absurd.
I know. That's not what I was talking about. But
I'm very well aware of what CRT, the foundation of CRT is, and how CRT is very divisive in nature for a large portion of the community. And this commentary is not about critical race theory. This commentary is about spying on children.
You're kind of off.
No, I'm not off.
The underlying is about critical race theory. If you read what he's talking about, it's talking about parents having a view on classrooms so they know what their kids are being taught and they can make sure it's not critical race theory. Now, I disagree wholeheartedly with the idea of putting cameras in classrooms, and it's absurd on the face of it because does anyone really think all of our classrooms across the United States are all of a sudden going to have the money to
it's
put
absurd.
cameras in?
It has no comment. It's a statement not backed in common sense. Where's the financial resources going to come, Bob, to put the cameras in the classroom? Good point, Judah Wickauer. Where are the financial resources going to come, Bob? Enrollment's dropping in public schools, Bob. Funding for schools is not going up, Bob. Scott Aaronworth makes this comment in Virginia Beach. The former president got 77 million votes, and he referred to the pandemic as the China virus. I think that is a very different time.
Yeah, I think enough time has passed.
So much time has passed.
That he's definitely tone deaf. And, well, see, I think the problem is that he's probably talked to people who give him money and support him, and they talk in this manner. And so he comes out and he thinks he's talking to his base.
You're talking good here.
Yeah. He's probably, slapping hands, meeting people, going to fundraisers, and hearing this type of language from people who are, his base.
That doesn't make it okay.
I know that. And so when
it also shows the very gerrymandered nature of the 5th District. And it also highlights a very unfortunate aspect as well. And whoever watches this program knows one of the things that I'm so vehemently opposed to and so disheartened by is the two-party system. The Democrat that's running against Bob Good, can anyone name the Democrat that is running against Bob Good for the 5th District? Could you, before I sent you this article, even now after reading that article, can you name the Democrat? You read the article. Can you name the Democrat that's running against Bob Good?
I actually haven't read the article, so no,
Okay, so you don't know who the Democrat is, right?
No.
I'm a political junkie, and I barely know who Bob Good's opponent is. His name is Josh Thronberg. Yeah. The Democrats are running such a nondescript and such an unbranded opponent. The Democrats are running, and this Josh Thronberg guy, such an unknown commodity, in particular against an incumbent. The power and the influence of an incumbent, which Bob Good is, especially in a gerrymandered district, you need the Democrats, someone with some panache, some flavor, some je ne sais quoi, some sex appeal, someone with some freaking swagger. And Josh Thronberg reminds me of Breyer's vanilla ice cream. There's nothing wrong with Breyer's vanilla ice cream. I love Breyer's vanilla ice cream. Breyer's vanilla ice cream is a great base for sprinkles and some chocolate syrup, some whipped cream, and a cherry on top, and a nice looking bowl. But if you don't put the chocolate syrup and the whipped cream and the cherry and the nice looking bowl with the vanilla ice cream, then people just see a scoop of vanilla ice cream and they don't get too excited. You got to put lipstick and you got to dress the pig. And right now you got a scoop of vanilla ice cream and you don't have any sprinkles, you don't have any chocolate syrup, and you certainly don't have some whipped cream or a very nice bowl. So the unfortunate aspect of this is Bob Good can do stupid things. China virus, cameras in classrooms, and he's probably going to get reelected.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get reelected.
Both sides are tone deaf. This guy has no idea what he's saying, and the other side is, like you said, they're trying to give you a McDonald's burger when your other option is, like a gourmet steak dinner at a high class steak restaurant.
Are you trying to make a metaphor there? Is that what you're doing? Was that your attempt at a metaphor?
Possibly.
Very, very well done there, John Steinbeck. Very, very well done. Very, very well done. The next great American novelist, Judah Whitcaro. Very, very well done. Shame on Good. And anyone who watches the program, I want you to hear the first 15 minutes of today's program and how I offered very critical and accountable commentary on Republicans. The show offers fair accountability commentary on both parties. And if you want to call it a third party or a fourth party with libertarians and socialists, we've held them accountable as well. I say this all the time. People ask me this all the time. Which party do you most identify with? I most identify with the party of common sense.
And sadly, that party hasn't been around in decades.
The party of common sense where the government stays out of your business. The party of common sense where the government runs as a small business. The party of common sense where the government looks for incremental tax dollars to alleviate the burden on you, the homeowner, the car owner, the truck owner, the business owner, incremental sources of revenue. The party of common sense that allows people to marry who they want, to love who they want. The party of common sense that empowers women on what they can do with their body. The party of common sense that empowers police officers to protect their communities and do what's right for its citizens. A party of common sense that champions frontline people because they put their lives on the line every day while people like you and I sit in chairs and punch keyboards to make a living. The party of common sense that puts family before anything else. That's just me. I think that's you.
Sounds good.
I think that's most people. I think that's most people. I really do think that's most people. I think we're much more of a centrist society than we even realize. We're way more centrist than we realize. We're just divided by two parties in a social media culture that likes to magnify divisive content and make it go viral.
Certainly true.
Right? We're being exploited. Beth Marcus, welcome to the program. We love you, Beth. Philip Dow, the King of Scottsville, welcome to the program. Thank you kindly for joining us. Daniel Pettit, my friend, welcome to the program. We love you, DP. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip Dow. Thank you very much. And I'm going to dot the I's and cross the T's on this. There's so much to unpack. You make those comments about COVID and the China virus and putting cameras in schools to spy on teachers and kids a few months before you're trying to get reelected. That's a show of stupidity. The comments that you make are a show of distaste and a fact that you're not in touch with reality, as Judah's indicated. It also indicates the lack of momentum behind Good's opponent. The fact that this likely will still not be enough for Good's opponent to get a victory in a gerrymandered district. It also highlights the gerrymandered nature of the 5th. How so much of the 5th is a far-right ideology. All right, next question. That's exactly right, Bill McKenzie. Wild Bill McKenzie put this in the feed. The centrist population, this group in the center that I think most of us are, this party of common sense people, Bill McKenzie has called it the silenced majority. And he's so right. This is a perfect little exit off my initial monologue. This is like the first exit off my initial monologue. You know why the majority is silenced in this country? Because the far left and the far right minority utilizes these social media platforms in organized strategic capacities to scarlet letter or bully or attack someone in the silenced majority who comes out and says something. The socialist group in Charlottesville is not deep in size, but they're organized and they're strategic and they understand social media from a bullhorn standpoint, and they can organize to go after someone.
It's definitely true.
That's why folks fear speaking out against this kind of stuff. Oftentimes, anonymity is safety.
No, that's definitely true. I mean,
And the problem with anonymity being safe is your true leaders choose not to be at the forefront of change because they prefer the anonymity and the safety. Maybe that's not a true leader then. Anything you want to add to that?
yeah, the way I see it is, I think a lot of times the middle of the road thinker just is not the type of person or personality that is willing to go through the crap that it takes to climb the political ladder. I think it just doesn't appeal to more centrist, people that take issues by the issue and not as a voting block or as a right
All right.
speaking point. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, come on. What are you trying to say here?
I'm trying to say that most people that are centrists who deal with issue by issue rather than just this is right, this is left, are not the type of people that are interested in going into politics.
You know what I think it is?
Look at
the people that are in the centrist, the silenced majority, as Wild Bill McKenzie has described them, the silenced majority has a foundation, as I've indicated, of common sense. And would common sense say, take a job as a city councilor and get paid $18,000 and work 30 hours, 40 hours a week, and have half the community hate you? Would common sense say, take a job as an Albemarle County Board of Supervisor and get paid $17,000 a year and have half the community hate you and the other half is lukewarm about you? Would common sense say, run for delegate, as Sally Hudson has done, and be in Richmond for weeks at a time for peanuts from a pay standpoint? I mean, it's not until you get to Congress. I mean, Bob Good's probably clocking what, $150,000 a year? Can someone look this up for me? I don't know this off the top of my head. Bill McKenzie, Dan Pettit, Beth Marcus, Phil Dow, Scott Aaronworth. Can someone look this up for me? Vanessa Parkhill. How much did Bob Good make in his first 2 years in Congress, representing the 5th District? I would bet you it's about $150,000. And he got benefits for him and his wife. Can someone give me that information? I would bet you it's can you find that, J-Dubs? 150. How much does a first-term congressman or a first-term congresswoman make? Google search that. How much does a first-term congressman make? I bet you it's 150 G's a year plus benefits. And if memory serves correct, if my memory from AP US history and Mr. Joyce's class at Walsingham Academy is correct, if you win back-to-back terms as a congressman, and remember, one term is only 2 years, the second term is 2 years. If my memory from AP US history is correct, if you win back-to-back terms, you're guaranteed $150 or $100 and some $1,000 your yearly pay for the rest of your life.
As of 2020, the annual salary for any congressperson, from first-term representatives to the most senior members, except those holding leadership positions, was set at $174,000.
Okay, I said 150. It was 174. That's pretty damn good. Price is right. Bob Barker would be given a fist bump and a chest bump right there to me. I was close. Now look this up. If you win 2 terms, as a congressman, I believe you are paid your yearly salary, your average of your 2-term yearly salary for the rest of your life. See if you can find that. If someone's getting 150 G's a year for the rest of their lives, that is a boatload of dinero. Do you find that? Can anyone confirm that? Beth, does anyone know that? Phil?
174 is for all but the leaders, no matter how many years you've been in.
So Bob Good got a bone 74, 174K, 174,000, right? First 2 years. What's it say if you win two back-to-back terms? I think you get the 174,000 a year for the rest of your life. I think you and your wife or you and your partner get the benefits for the rest of your life as well if you get back-to-back terms. It's not until that level of political engagement does the party of common sense say, okay, this makes sense. If you're the silence majority, and the silence majority is a foundation of common sense, would common sense ever say, run for city council and make $18,000 a year? Half the community is going to hate you, the other half's going to be lukewarm. Run for board of supervisors, 17 G's a year. Half the community is going to hate you, the other half's not even going to care about you. State delegate Sally Hudson, make no money. Even less people care about you because you're in Richmond. Oh, and you're in Richmond at weeks at a time. It's not until you get to Congress that it makes sense to get politically engaged if finance is the common sense way of you making decisions in life.
A full pension is available to members of Congress who are 62 years of age with 5 years of service, 50 years or older with 20 years of service, or 25 years of service at any age.
So what's that? Run that by me again.
A full pension.
A full pension, and what is a full pension? The 4 years pay?
Whatever the pension is. I don't know if it's the full year's pay, but you get a pension if you've been in Congress for 5 years at 62, if you've been in 20 years at 50, or 25 years
so
at
that
30.
means 5 years you got to win 2 terms and change, because each term's 2 years. All right, we'll get to some comments. Got a lot of comments coming in. King of Redfields, Bob Yarborough, has this. Here's some fair and balanced commentary. Bob Good is an idiot, and an insult to Bobs everywhere. Bob Yarborough said Bob Good is an insult to Bobs everywhere. That's
sorry,
funny.
We're sorry, Bob.
I'm sorry. Bob Yarborough, you're a cool dude. You are. I would hang and drink beer with you, Bob Yarborough, and listen to music and chill with you, homie. I would not with Bob Good. He said he's embarrassed he's my congressional representative. The King of Redfields just said that. The King of Greenwood said, I suggest we put a camera in his office.
Yeah, see how he likes it.
He says, to have minute-by-minute observation of teachers that make nothing is insane. Let's test that with our representative's office instead. I'm convinced we are all in that Sixth Sense movie and have no idea we are really dead. Good Lord, I hope that's not the case. Okay, everybody's watching. Everyone is watching, guys.
This is definitely the craziest timeline.
This is the craziest time. I swear to God, there's going to be locusts and water turning to blood next week in Central Virginia. We're going to have a swarm of locusts and water turning to blood. But Beth Marcus, oh, thank you for that correction. Retirement, you must serve 5 years, not by term. 5 years total, not necessarily by term. Thank you, Beth Marcus. I appreciate you, Beth. I hope you're doing well. All right, a couple other topics I want to get to. I touched on this briefly. The former #1 guy, head honcho, top chef at Tavola in Belmont. Some people call it Tavola, some people call it Tavola. Tavola, tomato.
I'd go with Tavola.
I think it's Tavola.
That just sounds more natural to me.
I think it sounds more natural to me too. Smith is committed to Tavola. Keith, I'm going to go Tavola. Dylan Allwood, formerly for years the numero uno chef at Tavola. Now he's at Multiverse Kitchens, and it's sort of a reunion. You could put those photos on screen if you could, please, sir. Thank you, Judah. Dylan, when he was a teenager, was working for Harrison Keevil, who owns Multiverse Kitchens, when Harrison Keevil previously owned Brookville Restaurant. Brookville Restaurant was a breakfast and sandwich restaurant that was located above the Whiskey Jar in the old Bebedero spot. The spot on the downtown mall where you had to climb the stairs to go to the second floor to eat. Well, Brookville was located there. And Harrison and a teenager, Dylan, I mean, hell, Harrison was probably in his late 20s, mid-20s then. They were the back of the house talent of Brookville Restaurant. Then Harrison went on to do Keevil and Keevil Kitchen, and Dylan ended up going to Tavola. Well, these two gentlemen, friends of the program, have reunited, and it feels so good. So good. And you're getting a flavor of Tavola at Multiverse Kitchens. Tonight, the special. Are those photos on screen?
I put the one photo on.
We'll put it back on there. I mean, good God. Spaghetti carbonara with Edwards, Virginia smoked bacon. Gnocchi with local tomatoes. Fettuccine with Meadows Pride Farm lamb ragu. They only have 8 portions of each. I love that they only have 8 portions of each. You know what this reminds me of? Friend of the program, Curtis Shaver, one of the owners of Peloton Station. Before Peloton Station opened, Curtis Shaver used to run the Sandwich Lab out of Hamilton's restaurant. Curtis Shaver was the executive chef at Hamilton's. Curtis and Bill Hamilton and Greg Vogler were dabbling in sandwiches, and they were dabbling in a new brand called the Sandwich Lab. The Sandwich Lab ended up evolving or turning into Peloton Station. Anyway, when the Sandwich Lab was being run out of Hamilton's, they often would do a post on social media. Today's sandwich special is this. And it was like a dope-ass sandwich, like a super deluxe, super heady, like exotic, custom, like just a dope sandwich. And they would say in the social media posts, we have 20 of these today, we have 15 of these today, 25 of these today. First 25 people gets them, first 20 people get them. And the freaking phone would ring off the hook. They would sell out immediately. Multiverse Kitchens ate to try. You're creating demand. You're fabricating, you're creating, you're building demand. You're like camping in the woods, you're rubbing some sticks together, you're getting some stones and some newspapers, and you're trying to light a fire, and you're stoking demand. It's freaking brilliant. It is brilliant, Harrison. It's brilliant, Dylan. I love it. I love it. And I love what Multiverse is doing. I love what Multiverse is doing. Ghost kitchen concepts out of one kitchen. Let me see if I can rattle off the brands. I'm going to the website real quick. They got Big H's Pancakes. I would imagine Big H is Harrison.
Probably. Big
H's Pancakes. They got Brookville Biscuit and Brunch in homage to Brookville. I think the first brand Harrison ever owned. They got Firebox. Not sure what Firebox is. Firebox is all about the grilled meats, veggies, salads, and sandwiches. They got Foul Mouth Chicken, the CVille Tea Room, Long Strange Chip, a cookie brand, Smashing Salads, Toad in the Hole. I'm not sure what Toad in the Hole is. Let's see. Toad in the Hole is something to offer your younger friends entering the multiverse with options like cinnamon roasted veggies, organic chicken tenders, or classic mac and cheese. So Toad in the Hole geared toward our precocious next generation, our son. And then they got Sandwiches and Crisp Toasties, which is a sandwich and crisp brand. So, I mean, I love it. Harrison, I wish you the best, dude. Interestingly, I went to college. I went to UVA with Harrison. Great guy. I wish you the best. Nothing but the best. And then I want to get to the news that Travis Hackworth sent to me. So 2 of the topics on today's show were directly from viewers and listeners. Scott Aaronworth just sent me the Esquire, the attorney from Virginia Beach, sent me the Dylan Allwood topic. Travis Hackworth, the king of Danville, sent me this topic that I'm about to rattle off. Can we get the photos on screen from Travis Hackworth? Tell me when those are on screen. So this is Danville, Virginia. I love Danville. I am bullish on Danville. Danville is going to have the first designated outdoor refreshment area where people are going to be able to walk up and down downtown Danville drinking in a safe environment. Now Danville is doing this. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. We're going to show you 3 photos. The city of Danville has done a joint venture, a partnership with a Wisconsin-based company to redevelop the last remaining vestige of the Dan River Mills manufacturing operation. The old white mill, and you can just rotate the photos. The old white mill, mill number 8, is over 600,000 square feet under one roof. And it's being turned into apartments and lofts and 110,000 square feet of commercial space with a whitewater system in the 1823 canal system and a 4-acre riverfront park with concert space, water features for kids, and a river overlook. That's directly from Travis Hackworth. Dudes, this is why I bring this up on the I Love CVille show. Can we go back to me on a one-shot? Elected officials must be open-minded to public-private partnerships. Public-private partnerships that can create economic advantages, built-in efficiencies, vertical integration tendencies, and save taxpayer dollars. I am bewildered. I'm confused. I'm flummoxed that a portion of our community is pissed off with Albemarle County for taking over the JCPenney and Fashion Scare Mall as a headquarters for an aspect of their operations. This will save taxpayer dollars. Yes, it's a lot of money. $3.1 million upfront to outfit it, $560,000 in rent in year 1. But you know what? Albemarle County said it would have cost 5 times this to build it from scratch. And Neil Williamson, the president of the Free Enterprise Forum, brought this to everyone's attention on yesterday's show. By renting the JCPenney, it keeps the property on the tax rolls. So the county is collecting taxable dollars from the JCPenney location. If Albemarle County had built the location from scratch and owned the structure themselves, that would not be on the tax rolls as taxable dollars because the jurisdiction would own the structure. Public-private partnerships are a good thing for jurisdictions because they utilize human capital, experience, and talent from the private sector that may not be prevalent in the public or the government sectors. Wouldn't you want to form a partnership with an expert, a business, a team in the private sector, as opposed to asking government officials or public sector employed people to learn something from scratch? This is called common sense. The party of common sense. All right, let me get to some comments. Thank you, Travis Hackworth, for sending that to me. This show is dynamic and interactive. We're open-minded to topics and ideas. We crowdsource content and relay it to you. Send us the content. All right, I would encourage anybody that's watching the program to go to ilovecville.com and check out the listing for the one bridal salon. The asking price is $125,000. $75,000 of inventory, $10,000 of furniture, fixtures, and equipment. Financials available with a signed NDA. The business was established in 2018. There's only one competitor in this space. This is an opportunity for an owner-operator to make hundreds of thousands of dollars themselves. This is an opportunity for an investor to find a general manager, put them in play as the operator, and then the investor can probably make close to $100K themselves, depending on how they play it. We'll go to comments. Vanessa Parkhill is watching. Ray Cadell says he's traveling. Ray Cadell, we miss you. Safe travels, Ray Cadell. See if I can find Vanessa's. You got anything to offer over there? I didn't mean to not get you in the mix as much, Judah.
That's fine.
Any commentary at all? If there's no commentary you want to offer, that's fine as well.
Nothing right now.
Vanessa Parkhill, the Queen of Earlysville, says, if I were a teacher, I would probably not like the idea of the cameras. But let's look at potential positives. The cameras could discourage cheating and bullying. If the general public can view what's going on in a classroom, maybe new adult immigrants could view from home to further their education in English and a variety of other subjects. I hear that some folks who are new to the country learn English by watching American TV. Shouldn't watching actual teachers be better than American TV for immigrants? That's a great comment by Vanessa Parkhill. I will play devil's advocate, Vanessa Parkhill, with your comment. And here's the devil's advocate. What if the video stream in the classrooms gets in the hands of child predators? What if the video stream from the classrooms is a stream that's easily hackable? A lot of people don't realize this. Those baby monitors that moms and dads put in their rooms to monitor their babies at night, those baby monitors, the ring systems, they're often hacked by outsiders. Look it up. Easily hackable, those baby monitors. Easily hackable. What happens if a predator or a family member with bad intentions gets access to the stream? I mean, dude, it's such a crazy time for schools. I want to throw this to you here. In less than 1 year, we saw a governor's race be determined because of public schools. McAuliffe and Youngkin. McAuliffe's comment about parents shouldn't be involved in their kids' education. Definition of stupidity, McAuliffe. He said it 3 times. We saw critical race theory, key component of the McAuliffe-Youngkin campaign. Parental empowerment, a key component of the McAuliffe-Youngkin campaign. Masking in schools and mask mandates, a key news cycle driver in the last year and a key component of the McAuliffe-Youngkin campaign. Now we have a congressman, an incumbent, using his bully pulpit and platform to champion cameras in classrooms. Literally. He said he's been thinking about this since COVID started.
I mean,
We got technology. We got gender-neutral bathrooms now entering the news cycle. When did the public school system become the war ground for political races, fights, and battles? There's landmines everywhere. You're walking to first grade, sidestep that landmine of the gender-neutral bathroom. You want to go to geometry class? Watch out for that landmine, CRT. You want to go to history class? good Lord, there's that mask mandate landmine. Stay away from that. Make sure you play Frogger and avoid it. Parents, they shouldn't have any say in curriculum? Yes or no? There it is, right in front of the PE class. Sidestep it. When did it become the landscape for political battles? The hallways of public schools? Has it always been that way?
When they realized that you could win races with it.
Maybe it's always been that way. Maybe it's always been that way. And some would point to segregation in schools. And some would point to public universities like UVA that only permitted men. When my dad went to UVA, his first 2 years, only men were allowed in school, no women. It wasn't black or brown. It was white man, not even women. Maybe it's always been that way. Maybe it's always been that way. And that's a damn shame. All right. That's today's show. Judah Wickower is our director. He's the jack of all wit. My name is Jerry Miller. Just call it how I see it. Straightforward, from the heart, and from a lens of common sense and fiscally conservative mentality, socially liberal mentality, financially, fiscally conservative, socially liberal. All right, that's the show. See you guys later.